This is a 2014 Ford Escape. Welcome to the third generation Ford Escape. This is the base model. Oh yeah. What we've got here is basic sport utility vehicle. Nothing special, nothing too amazing about it. This is used by everybody from your average small family, people trying to commute, municipalities for like sort of admin type vehicle. It's basically just a really big, I guess tall would be probably a better description, Ford Focus, basically. I mean, if you looked at the interior in here, it would be pretty similar, in my opinion. There's nothing too grand or amazing about this vehicle. It's got a couple quirks. What I want to do today is kind of go over my, I guess, usage of this vehicle. I do not own this vehicle. I've actually driven it its entire life cycle. It's basically a company vehicle that I use to drive around. And now it has 179,029 miles on it. Original powertrain, routine maintenance, and a lot of things that have worn out are basically things you would expect to wear out, like the brakes, the CV joints, things like that, when you drive something over 100,000 miles. I don't remember what set of tires I'm on at this point. I think I'm on the fourth-ish set. Basically, when we first got this vehicle, probably about 15,000 miles in, ran over some road debris, flattened one of the tires, and then from that point forward, tires get replaced as needed. I know mechanics out there are probably not real happy with me about that, but as I said, it's a company-owned vehicle, so they're going to do kind of minimum maintenance. You don't want to go too excessive, basically, is what they're going to do. So this vehicle's had tires changed randomly around it as needed. At some point, we ended up switching to these Goodyear Eagle Sports. These are actually pretty good tires. The problem is the lug nuts suck. If you have the OEM lug nuts, get rid of them, throw them away. They have a swelling problem. They will swell up and they will not work with your lug wrench. Get rid of them. This is the third set of lug nuts on this vehicle. It's on its second windshield. The first one broke and cracked, and actually the one that's on here right now has already got a crack in it, which isn't too bad for the mostly highway driving that this vehicle has done. On the interior, there's a couple little things that don't work, I guess, as well as they could. The door handles on the inside, the rear tailgate handle, not the best in the world. The rear tailgate, when you go to close it, if the screws are not all the way in or have backed out, the handle will actually pop free. The door handles on either side in the front have little plastic covers that kind of cover the little mounting screws. Those little plastic covers will fatigue, break, and fall off over time. And then on this door, on the driver door over here, I've actually had a stress crack start to form where the handle is. So I put some tape over it to kind of keep myself from getting cut, because the vehicle was getting pretty high mileage at that point, so there was no need to invest in a new door panel, I guess you could say. The other thing that I did notice is that this door panel over here on the side kind of collapsed one day. I was kind of leaning on it and I felt something pop. So other than that, I mean, it's a base model, so there's not anything real special or flashy about it. Other things that have, I guess, worn out over time on this vehicle, obviously it's gone through a set of brakes already. It actually needs another set. It has had a couple of small oil leaks from various parts of the engine, which you would expect after, you know, gaskets start to get old and wear out from being heated up and cooled down, heated up and cooled down, heated up and cooled down over and over again as you operate the vehicle. The only kind of odd thing that I've had happen was I had the driver's side brake light stopped working, and that was due to a short in the system. Basically, I guess a wire rubbed somewhere, and that didn't allow the light to work anymore when you hit the brakes. So that led to some kind of annoying notifications letting you know that a brake light is out. Which it's only annoying because when you change the light bulb and it still doesn't fix it, you know, then you realize that there's a bigger issue and then you have to deal with it. So what type of use has this vehicle seen? Mostly highway. Highway, and then when it's off the highway, kind of mostly parking lots or off-road kind of dirt areas. So my primary job is outside sales, so I visit places that are very nicely set up, and I visit places that are, I guess the best description I can give you is I actually have a customer working out of a storage shed on a dirt lot. So get basically the whole realm of things, you know. So this vehicle has been all over Florida, all the way from Key West through Miami, Naples area, all the way up to Jacksonville, and as far over as Pensacola. It's even been up into Georgia, and I think I've even taken it in Alabama once or twice. I can't even remember at this point, but it has literally been on every roadway I can think of, every type of roadway, I guess is a better way to put that. Everything from city streets, neighborhood streets, cobblestone, just pretty much anything you can think of. It is on its original powertrain. It has had kind of a weird, like, rough shifting since day one. It will kind of jerk every now and then. Sometimes it'll hesitate to go into gears, but it has never actually, like, completely failed to go into a gear or had any kind of catastrophic transmission failure. So under the hood, you will have this problem on both sides. This area will fill up with random leaves and things. And then the other very, very, very annoying thing, and actually probably the biggest irritation on my list, would be this thing. That's right, if I pop this cover off, you will find the battery is tucked all the way up underneath the windshield. How do you get this off? You take off both wipers, you pull this shroud, and then there's another shroud underneath of it that you also pull. And then you can take this out. However, there is the alternate method of pulling out the airbox. Both take time and are annoying. On the roof of the vehicle, there is a rain catch, which I guess would normally be where the roof rack is. As you can see, there's stuff in there. Kind of hard to tell, but there is actually leaves and things that get caught up in there. Interesting quirk, the microphone for the sync system is up here, and sometimes, due to wind noise from either the air conditioner or the highway, this might not work as well as you would hope. Typically on the interstate, when I'm doing around 70 miles an hour, I get a lot of complaints about the sync system's microphone. They wonder if I'm in some kind of wind tunnel. Now, I'm not sure if that's from road noise or from the air conditioning system itself. Just something you guys should be aware of. Typical controls, typical climate control stuff. There is a power outlet right here. And if you short this thing out, there is some kind of special fuse somewhere in the car that will allow you to make that to work again, but unfortunately Ford doesn't really give you a real good idea as to where that actual fuse is located. The cup holder has a little piece here that most people probably throw away, lose, destroy, whatever. And there is actually a little tray in here. So if you're looking at one and it doesn't have this middle piece, it means somebody lost it. Center console has a couple places where you can either store business cards or a USB cable. There should be a little tray in the middle here, and yet another 12-volt power point, a USB, a line in, and what appears to be another cup holder, though I'm not sure how big the cup would have to be to make this make sense and make you want to get in and out of it. So, not sure what's going on there. And if I didn't mention, this is a base model. That means there shouldn't be a whole lot of options on this, and if you're getting any trim level higher than this, you're going to have at least this stuff. Inside the glove box, there's actually a little clip to hold either a pen or, in my case, a tire pressure gauge. So there is another interesting little quirk about this particular vehicle. Underneath of my, I guess, all-weather floor mat, I've got yet another floor mat, but that's an option. But look at this. There's a little hidden compartment here. I'm not really sure what this is for, but it's a little storage spot. And that is directly behind front passenger seat, kind of underneath of it. There's nothing over there on the driver's side, but kind of an interesting little quirk. So I guess if you're trying to hide something, that might be a fun place to put it. And look, yet another power supply right here between the seats. Oh, and this little cubby's actually pretty useful for holding business cards. In the rear, there is plenty of cargo space for, you know, a small SUV. I mean, you're not going to get anything too crazy, but you will get another power port. And up here, this is an option for a cover, a cargo cover. There's a fuse box back here. And then, underneath, you should have one of these in case you ever need to fill your fuel tank with a gas can. This vehicle does come with a donut, there should be a lug wrench right here. Underneath is where you will find the jack. Another fun fact, base models come with amber front turn signals. All the other models have clear. As always, thanks for checking out the video. Love to all of you. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you happen to be looking for a 2014-ish third generation Ford Escape, at minimum, it should help you get through some of the interesting quirks, features, things you can look for that might actually be broken, and give you a heads up on some of the more annoying things like the battery. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.